Just hours ago, Buckingham Palace released a statement that sent shockwaves across Britain. The nation awoke to headlines no one expected, a quiet tragedy unfolding behind the ivy-covered walls of Gatcombe Park. It was short, dignified, and heartbreaking. The Princess Royal is taking time in private following a personal loss. No details, no explanations, just the echo of sorrow that hung over the monarchy like a cold morning mist. Inside the royal estate in Gloucestershire, where Princess Anne has lived for decades, silence replaced the rhythm of horses and laughter. Gatcombe Park, once the symbol of her independence and rural strength, had become the setting of profound grief. For a woman known for her resilience, duty, and stoic composure, the nation could feel that this time was different. This time, the tragedy had struck somewhere words could not reach. Reports began to swirl within minutes of the palace announcement. Was this connected to her health? Had something happened to a family member? Or was it the resurfacing of an old pain? A story long kept private behind palace gates. As speculation grew, Buckingham Palace urged calm, but silence in the age of instant news only deepened the mystery. To understand the weight of this moment, we must look beyond the polished statements and ceremonial photos. Princess Anne has always been the monarchy's backbone, a figure of constancy in a family defined by turbulence. While others made headlines for romance, scandal, or politics, Anne stood firm, the tireless worker, the unshakable presence. But even the strongest hearts carry unseen scars, and those who know her best say this loss has reopened a chapter she never wanted the world to revisit. The story begins in the quiet countryside of Gatcombe Park, Anne's personal sanctuary since the early 1980s. Here, she raised her children, Zara and Peter, away from the glare of royal cameras. The land became her refuge, a place where titles faded and life felt simple again. But beneath that calm facade, tragedy has visited her before. Close friends recall that Gatcombe has always held both joy and heartbreak, from the laughter of family gatherings to moments of profound solitude. Now, in 2025, history seems to have repeated itself. According to palace insiders, the days leading up to the announcement were unusually tense. Anne cancelled 2 minor engagements, a rarity for someone known to fulfill over 400 duties each year. Aides described her demeanor as quiet but distant, and by the time the official statement was issued, the truth could no longer be hidden. The Princess Royale was in mourning, not for a public figure, but for someone deeply personal. For decades, Princess Anne has carried herself with unmatched discipline. She was the daughter who never complained, the sister who never sought the spotlight, the royal who embodied the old world sense of service. When others faltered under scrutiny, Anne rode through storms, literally and metaphorically. But behind that armor of strength lies a woman shaped by loss. The death of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022 profoundly affected her, and friends say that grief never fully faded. It was Anne who stayed by the Queen's side during her final hours, who rode behind the coffin during the long procession through Scotland, and who carried the weight of both daughter and soldier in one silent figure. Now, just 3 years later, that same silence has returned, heavier than before. At Gatcombe Park, the gates remained closed as a small convoy of vehicles arrived earlier this week. Locals reported seeing black-clad aides entering through the service entrance, avoiding the main drive. No statements were given, but it was clear something deeply personal had happened. By nightfall, reporters camped outside the perimeter fences, the glow of their cameras flickering against the darkened windows. And yet, inside those walls, no sound emerged. Not even a light from Anne's study, where she usually reviews her daily briefing. The princess had retreated into the privacy that few royals ever achieve, a solitude reserved for moments of genuine heartbreak. Those who have worked closest with her say that when Anne grieves, she does so with dignity. There are no public tears, no statements of emotion. Instead, she withdraws, allowing her silence to speak louder than any royal announcement. And so, when Buckingham Palace finally broke that silence, it was only because the world had already begun to sense what she would never say aloud. Across Britain, reactions were immediate and heartfelt. Messages of sympathy flooded the royal website, and tributes appeared outside Gatcombe Park and Buckingham Palace. In London, the flag flew at half-mast for several hours, an unspoken sign of respect. Royal watchers described it as the end of an unspoken chapter, while others simply called it Anne's private heartbreak. Inside the palace, aides were careful to balance compassion with discretion. A senior source told the Times that the Princess Royal is deeply affected, but remains focused on her family and duties. That single line revealed everything. Anne was suffering, yet still thinking of her role. It's the same resilience that defined her through decades of service, from state visits to late-night military briefings, from flood relief to charity galas. She has always been where duty called, and yet this time the call was to step back, Historians often describe Princess Anne as the monarchy's unsung pillar. She's the one who never courted fame, but earned respect through sheer endurance. Her tragedy, then, is not just personal. It's symbolic of the quiet pain that runs beneath the crown itself. Because behind every royal title lies a very human heart, one that feels loss as deeply as any other. As the hours passed after the announcement, cameras began to turn toward Gatcombe's rolling fields. The royal estate, usually alive with the sound of horses and laughter, was still. Neighbors reported hearing the faint tolling of the local church bell, a subtle acknowledgement from the nearby village of Minchinhampton. It was the kind of small-town empathy Anne has always cherished, the quiet understanding of people who have seen her not as a princess, but as one of their own. What makes this tragedy particularly painful is its timing. The royal family has endured an unrelenting wave of challenges: King Charles's ongoing health concerns, strained relations among younger royals, and growing public scrutiny. Through it all, Anne has been the constant, the calm voice, the steady hand, and now, the revelation that she herself is in mourning has shaken the royal household to its core. It has reminded the nation that even the strongest among us are not immune to loss. Buckingham Palace officials have confirmed that Anne will not attend public engagements for the coming weeks. Her schedule has been cleared, and her private secretary has been instructed to manage correspondence discreetly. But those close to her say she remains in touch with her family, especially Zara and Peter, who have been by her side at Gatcombe since the news broke. Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly reached out personally, offering her full support. It's a rare glimpse into the quiet solidarity that still binds the royals behind the scenes, away from the cameras and headlines. For many Britons, this moment feels familiar. It evokes the memory of Princess Diana's passing, of Queen Elizabeth's final days, and of every silent heartbreak that has rippled through the House of Windsor. Each generation of royals has faced its own storm, and now it is Anne's turn, a private storm unfolding far from public view. At the heart of this tragedy lies a simple truth. The crown may be made of gold, but the people who wear it are still flesh and blood. They grieve, they stumble, and they carry on, not because duty demands it, but because legacy compels it. And for Princess Anne, that legacy is everything. As the sun set over Gatcombe Park, a soft light bathed the estate's stone walls. Some say they saw Anne walking the grounds in the early morning, dressed in her familiar country jacket, her posture as upright as ever. No photographers were allowed near, but one witness described it poignantly. She looked like a woman trying to find peace in the only place that still feels real. It was the image of resilience, not the pomp of royalty, but the quiet courage of a woman enduring yet another chapter of loss. Across social media, the hashtag #PrayForPrincessAnne began trending within hours. Public figures, charities, and even former staff members shared messages of love and respect, but the most touching tributes came from ordinary citizens, those who remembered her tireless visits to their town, hospital, and disaster zone. For them, Anne isn't just a royal, she's a symbol of constancy, and in her grief, they see the reflection of their own. As the world waits for further updates, one question lingers in every corner of Britain. What truly happened at Gatcombe Park? Was this a sudden tragedy, or a heartbreak long in the making? The palace, as always, remains silent, choosing dignity over detail. And perhaps that is exactly how Anne would want it. Because Princess Anne has never sought sympathy, her strength has always come from silence, from doing the work, from serving the crown, from carrying pain without letting it define her. Yet in this moment, as the nation stands still, even the most stoic heart deserves grace. In time, she will return to public life. She will resume her duties, open new hospitals, attend military ceremonies, and smile for the cameras once more. But those who look closely will see it, the faint trace of sorrow behind her composure. The quiet reminder that even heroes of tradition must sometimes walk through valleys of grief. Tonight, Buckingham Palace remains dimly lit, its corridors